Welcome to Ask the Child Therapist Kids version, where every week I'm going to teach you how to crush your anxiety or your OCD. Today I want to talk to you about your bully problem. You're like, bully problem? I don't have a bully problem. Or you're like, how does she know about my bully problem? But I'm not talking about your bully problem at school or in the neighborhood. I'm talking about the bully problem that's going on in your mind. If you have anxiety or OCD, you have a bully problem because anxiety and OCD love to bully. They love to tell you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. You don't believe me? Think about these thoughts. Just don't go. You need to sleep with your mom and dad. It's not gonna go well if you go. You're not safe if you're not with your mom. You're gonna feel so sick if you go. Something bad is gonna happen to your mom. It'd be easier if you just didn't go. I'm pretty sure you should wash your hands. Are you feeling sick? Your hands aren't clean enough. Go wash them again. Are you sure your stomach isn't hurting? I think it is. You touch that. Go wash again. Yep, you're definitely gonna get sick. The sooner you realize that you're being bullied by your OCD or anxiety, the sooner we can come up with a plan on how to bully it back. So for starters, you have to recognize that you are in a battle. You've been in a battle and you haven't even realized because you aren't fighting. So we need to roll up our sleeves and we need to start arming you for the battle with the bully in your head. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. So for starters, you might be saying, ugh, Natasha, whatever. It's just better for me to just stay at home. It's just better for me to not go to school. It's just better for me to wash my hands and feel better. Or it's just better for me to be near my mom and not be anywhere else. But it's not better for you. It's better for your bully. And you don't want to be on your bully's side. You know why? Because the bully's ultimate goal is to tell you what to do or what not to do, for you to do it without any question, without any thought, and to grow it bigger. So the more that you do it, the more it grows. Now you might think, whatever, but honestly, there is scientific proof to back this up. This is not just something that I'm saying because I'm a therapist. This is a fact. The more you do what your anxiety or your OCD wants, you are actually growing it in your brain and making it stronger. There's something called neural pathways. I call them neural highways. And they're kind of like telephone poles for your brain. And the more that you pick up the phone and answer anxiety or pick up the phone and answer OCD, the more those telephone lines grow bigger and stronger. And we don't want that. And so when you don't pick up the phone call, when you ignore the phone call and you say, you know what, this is my anxiety calling, I'm not answering. This is my OCD calling, I'm not answering. Guess what happens? Those telephone poles start to fall down, literally in your brain. And those connections start to break because they're not being picked up. They're not being listened to. And so you can actually change your brain just by changing your actions, which is pretty amazing. Scientists have done research. They have taken pictures of the brain. So they've taken pictures of a brain with a person who had anxiety, pictures of a brain with a person who has OCD, and they can see the parts that are lit up in the picture that show the activity of the OCD or the anxiety. And then they had that person do therapy, kind of what I'm going to be teaching you, how to fight back, how to not be bullied. You can't stop a thought from happening because that's just going to happen. You're going to have an anxious thought. You're going to have an OCD thought if you have OCD. But what you do with that thought, that's going to matter. Do you give it a lot of power? Do you listen to it? Do you follow its directions exactly? Or do you say, I'm having an anxious thought. Oh, I'm having an OCD thought. I'm going to let that ride on by and I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to take action and do something that it wants me to do or avoid because it's dictating what I should do. It's bullying me. So when people have learned how to sit with those anxious thoughts or sit with the OCD and not listen to it, not do what it wants you to do, guess what happens? They've taken an after picture of the brain and all that activity, all that lit up parts of the brain calms down. And there's literally physical change in the brain just by somebody doing something different when they have those thoughts. That's pretty powerful. So I want to teach you what your bully wants you to do and what I want you to do instead. Because we can't control if we have anxious thoughts. We can't control if we have thoughts that are OCD related. But we can control whether we listen to what it wants us to do. And that's the part I'm trying to teach you, the action part. Because your anxiety loves when you avoid. Your OCD loves when you avoid or you do a compulsion. So some of you may not have OCD and some of you may not have anxiety. But it doesn't matter because the end message for this video is the same. You have a bully, whether it's anxiety or OCD, and it wants you to do something or not do something. And it's about time that you say, wait a minute, who's in charge here? I don't have to do what you say. And if I don't do what you say, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get better. So at the end of every video I'm going to make for this kids edition, I'm going to give you a little bit of work to do at home. You don't have to do it. It doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to come to your house and check. But I just want to give you something to take away between now and next week when I see you again. So between now and next week, I want you to start paying attention. What is that bully telling you in your head? And how often are you just listening to it? How often are you just avoiding? How often are you just going and doing something because it makes your bully feel better? Start to pay attention and see if you can start listening to yourself and not your bully. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have a comment, leave it below. What does your bully tell you? Or do you have a topic that you want me to cover? Leave a comment and tell me what anxiety tells you. What do you want me to talk about in my next video? Because I'm going to be paying attention to the comments. I'm going to be paying attention to the likes to see if this kids series should continue. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the sparkle in everything you do, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.